Elizabeth Holmes and Brian Chesky are really interesting to study as kind of a dichotomy, one against the other, because they both use this idea that's very well known in Silicon Valley and across the world, fake it till you make it. Everybody's heard this term before. Both of them employed it. One of them now is a business superstar, the other is a business pariah. So what's the difference? Why did it work for one and not the other? And more importantly, will it work for you? Today, I am diving all in on this weird phrase, from what it's supposed to mean to whether you should fake it and the implications of faking it. My name is Trent Kennelly. I'm a marketing strategist, and on this channel, I talk about all the things that you can do to improve your business through marketing, sales, and analytics. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment and let me know how you feel about this weird phrase, if you love it, if you hate it. My wife hates it. I'm kind of agnostic, and I'll tell you all about why that is in just a second. But until then, let's get started. All right, so what is this supposed to mean? So the concept behind it's a little fluffy. Fake it till you make it is supposed to be that you put yourself outside of your comfort zone in order to gain confidence and skill in new areas. It's not lying. And actually, if you're lying, you're probably going outside of the concept of fake it till you make it. And lying would be something like taking credit for someone else's work, or it would be saying a product works and it really doesn't, or something like that in the interest of getting someone's money, right? Faking is more like knowing that you can do something or knowing that you can figure out how to do it without actually having all of the mechanics and pieces in place to make it run really successfully right off the bat. So for example, if someone asked you whether you've designed a shoe before and you have never designed a shoe in your life, it would be lying to say that you have designed a shoe. That is not fake it till you make it. But to know that you're able to design a shoe, to convey that you haven't necessarily done that, but you have the basic skill set to make that happen, would not be lying, okay? Chris Do of the future would refer to this rather than fake it till you make it as believe it till you achieve it. The benefit of this, it sounds a little bit better, it's a little more positive. It also takes the negativity out of that statement. It removes the belief that faking includes lying and deception in some way. So should you fake it? A lot of people are going to tell you that, yeah, you have to fake it if you want to make it in the beginning. And there is some logic to this. No matter what you know when you first start out, there are two things that are always going to be true. Nobody knows who you are, and nobody has any reason to trust or believe you. However, I have to say that I don't totally agree that this means that you must fake it till you make it. In fact, if you aren't careful, that overconfidence can quickly turn into lying, and all you do at that point is damage your reputation. So this really comes down to a two-part test. First question is, do you have the basic skill set or knowledge to provide some level of value? So a couple of examples here. First example, you grew up inside, not really doing anything physical at all ever. You played a lot of video games. Now you're a 35-year-old accountant that hasn't even been in a pool for at least 5 years. If you start to fake it by telling people that you're an Olympic swimmer, do you have the skill set to back that up? No, so you aren't faking, you're just lying. On the other hand, if you're a trained lawyer, but you do real estate law and now all of a sudden you're being asked to do a criminal trial, do you have the basic skill set to back that up? Yes, you do. You can kind of get where you need to be. It's just going to take a little bit of extra legwork. And then the second part of the test is, do you have the confidence to do this? Now, I know that that sounds a little bit out there, a little bit subjective maybe, but truly you have to believe that you can do this to achieve your goal. It takes the skill, it takes the understanding or knowledge or belief that you can do it. Just back to that lawyer, if he doesn't believe that he can successfully complete and win a criminal trial as a criminal lawyer, he's probably not going to use his skill set to figure that out. All right, so what are some of the implications of fake it till you make it? They can go either way, kind of as I mentioned at the top with Brian Chesky and Elizabeth Holmes. It can really be very good or very bad. There's not a lot in between here. So let's just look at these two examples. Brian Chesky, to start out, is one of the co-founders of AirBnB, which is a service that lets regular people rent their homes out to vacationers. It exploded on the scene in 2008 and has had a severe impact on the hotel industry ever since then. It's really taken a big chunk out of their market share. Brian is the first person to tell you that he knew nothing about the hotel industry. In fact, his story was that he made the initial site, then he would fly out to New York to where his user base was, and he would learn from them directly there. He used all of that information just to make the site better and better. So the test, did he have a basic skill set? Yes, absolutely. He understood how to build websites. Now you're gonna say, but Trent, he has no knowledge of the hotel industry before he started Airbnb. And you're absolutely correct, but that's not what he needed here. At the core of his business is not some big hotel building or normal hotel operations or something like that. It's a site that gives people what they want, which is directed towards staying places on vacations. Now, did he have the confidence? Definitely. Brian knew that if he tried to do this, he could accomplish this goal. The result for Brian was that fake it till you make it worked great for him. There's loads of credibility in his brand, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business. Now for Elizabeth Holmes. So Elizabeth Holmes was a chemical engineering student that left Stanford in the middle of her bachelor's degree to go found Theranos. Theranos claimed to be able to diagnose hundreds of different illnesses from a single drop of blood using some machine that they invented, which was super crazy, really big deal at the time, sounded completely mind-blowing. Lots of people said it was impossible. Turns out it was, because the machine was a complete lie. Not only did it not diagnose anywhere near the number of things that it said it could, it also put people in harm's way by misdiagnosing lots of illnesses. So did she have the basic skill set? No, she really didn't. She had basic training in chemical engineering, but she didn't even finish her bachelor's degree. She has no degree, no work history, and nothing that would really help her with this revelation. She knew how to hire staff, she knew how to raise money, but that's something that all companies have to do. It's really hard to assign that as the skill set that you need for this highly specialized field, especially something that's going to affect people so closely as to potentially kill them, right? Did she have confidence? Yes, way too much. She took that fake it till you make it concept and pushed it way too far and moved into the realm of just pure lying. And now that it's out there, her reputation and her company's reputation is in tatters. She is probably going to have a hard time ever raising money again. So where's the line here? It seems like both of these, fake it till you make it and lying, are really both about pushing the boundaries. It's just that one breaks through the boundary and goes too far. It's really tough to answer this at times, but it comes down to honesty and harm. Honesty is the sense that by being aware of yourself and what you can and can't do, what you do and don't have the skills or the confidence for, can make it easier to make those decisions the correct way. And harm in the sense that, depending on your industry, you can do real harm, real damage to other people if you're not careful and if you push it too far. In the case of Elizabeth Holmes, her actions probably, most likely, resulted in the deaths of a few people. And in the case of Brian Chesky, it is very unlikely that the worst result is more than a financial loss, which of course wouldn't be forgivable, but is better than the physical harm that can result from something like Theranos misdiagnosing you, right? Which means that when you're starting a business, it is very important to identify whether certain harms can come to people who work with your business or not. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that sure, sometimes faking it till you make it is a good strategy and can be very good for your business, but the minute your faking starts to affect others and really harms those other people, it becomes a problem. So I hope that this helped you kind of figure that out. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, whether you love fake it till you make it or not, whether you think I'm full of air or the fake it till you make it people are. I would love to know. Otherwise, make sure that you give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I'll catch you in the next one.